The power of positioning and how it can make you super rich. Well, let's just say this. Super rich is a term that is subjective. So whatever super rich means to you, 100,000 a year, 100,000 a month, 100,000 a day, the right positioning can get you there, assuming that you're positioned properly and you've got enough other stuff, you've got enough lead flow coming in, you've got a big enough market and all of that. And you do some other things right too. So, but look, positioning is magic. And one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they just have bad positioning. Look at salespeople in general. Who respects a salesperson? Who appreciates a salesperson? People abuse salespeople all day long. To be perceived as just a salesperson is probably the worst thing that you can be perceived as. Look, I love the fact that I'm a salesman. I'm proud of it. I've never been more proud to be a salesperson. And yet I know that my customers, I never want them to think of me as a salesperson. So I'm not ashamed to be a salesperson. I'm proud of it. I tell people I am, but if it's a prospective buyer, I want to be perceived as an expert. People want to do business with experts. They don't necessarily want to do business with salespeople. And so what we teach, one of our 12 pillars in the stay home and sell method is positioning. How to elevate yourself. It's a game. It's a dance. I realize that, like I told my assistant, who sets all my appointments for me now, I told her this when I first met her. I said, look, I'm the most average person you'll ever meet. There's nothing special about me. But when you're talking to my prospects, you have to make it seem like I'm a very, very, very important person, and you have to set the stage for me. That's her job. Her job is to set the stage for me. And of course, my job in all of the communications that I do is also to present myself as an expert, as a trusted advisor, someone who's looking out for their best interests, but somebody who's paid their dues and has what they want. And just when it's all set up properly, when you're using our method that we have with the structured sales system that we have, and you're using all of our marketing techniques, and you're doing everything along with positioning, then here's the big benefit for you. It's going to sound a little far out if you've never been, if you're a brand new student, or you've never been subjected to our methods. But you're going to have an ever-growing number of people that are ready to do business with you, and they're eager. They're practically standing in line with money in hand. And I know that's a great visual, and yet that's exactly what happens when you do our methods and do them properly. You have people that when they get on the phone with you, they're ready to talk. They're excited to talk to you. I just got off the phone with this guy just now, a client of mine, and first thing he says to me, he goes, I've got a couple questions. He goes, I know how busy you are. I'll only take a few minutes of your time. And those are the kind of things I hear all the time. I hear that. That's just a standard protocol for me. And it's all done by design. The positioning is right. I'm not just some salesperson chasing after them at all. Whoever's doing the chasing is the weak one. Anyway, I am a professional, I'm a trusted advisor, and I'm just simply teaching all my students how to achieve that also. It's some of it is just nonsense. Like I told my assistant when I first met her, I'm just an average guy. Nothing special about me. But you can never let the prospects know that. You can never, ever, ever let the prospects know that. Because when they're on the phone with me, I want them to feel privileged to be on the phone with me, and I want to give them what they want, but ultimately what they want is to do business with a professional. They want to do business with an expert, not just a salesperson. So look, I feel sorry for salespeople that don't know anything about positioning and how to set it up right. It has to be done a certain way, but if it is, I promise you, the benefits, easier sales, more people are going to give you more of their money. It's just the money's just going to flow to you effortlessly when you use this secret of positioning with other secrets. You know, there was a time when my calls weren't scheduled for me. And I was just calling prospects up out of the blue. And the way I was treated then versus the way I am treated once the appointments were set up for me, it is just like night and day. And I noticed it right away. From the very first day, I started having appointments set for me. Immediately. People respect your time more. They know that they've only got 15 minutes with me. That's it. Now, sometimes I do half-hour appointments, but for the most part, they've got 15 minutes with me, and my assistant is telling them, make every minute count. Don't talk small talk with him. Don't talk about the weather. Have your questions written out in advance. And she's setting the stage for me so that when I come in for that allotted time period, they are home, first of all, when I call them, so I could have her call them for me too. Well, she has done some of that. But the stage is set, the positioning is right, the sales come easier, people are happier to talk with you, and they're going to give you more of their money. And in the end, they're going to feel better about their purchase. There's going to be less buyer's remorse, less customer service headaches and hassles, and all of that too. Now they're dealing with a real somebody who they want to do business. Again, they want to do business with a professional. You have to be the kind of person that they need you and want you to be. And you get that with the right positioning. So I hope something here has helped. If you're one of my students, you know that positioning is one of the 12 pillars in our foundational method here. And if you're not one of my students, I hope something I've said here has made a difference. Find out more about what we're doing by clicking on the link below if you're watching on YouTube or some other place. And thank you very much. Hope something I've said has benefited you greatly. Bye for now.